Okay, so here's another level where we've got the leaper type enemy, and this is a kind of interesting setup because there's really, oh wow, yeah, there's really very little opportunity for like scoring or shooting in the level. Basically the idea is reach the top by finding a path through these kind of maze-like tunnels, and these guys are pretty defensive. Like, it's hard, even with the firepower you have in here, which is increased firepower, it's pretty hard to destroy many of them. There's not like a lot of good opportunities for chain scoring or anything like that, so what I like to do is just kind of get a powerful weapon and just sort of try to clear a path through the middle. The idea here, it's very survival focused, and the idea is just like reach the top any way you can. Not much else to say about it. I mean, it is kind of the scrolling speed in this level is a little quicker than most other levels. The enemies are a little tougher than a lot of other levels, and that combination makes for a pretty challenging experience. It's also kind of long. Like, it takes maybe a minute, I think, to reach the top in here. So, yeah, this is one that I've had considerable trouble with. Like, a lot of the levels at this point in the game, you're reaching like the midpoint or like the second half of the game. Like, a lot of the levels, like, they're so random and so unforgiving that you guys are going to see me start to have like a lot of trouble clearing these, and that's pretty normal. I mean, even for admittedly like an experienced player with a ton of player experience and skill at this game, like it's so random that it just isn't easy. Like, you just have to react to everything, and I almost destroyed one of the big ones there. Yeah, always a challenge, like no matter how many times you play the level or how good you are. That's one of the things I really like about this game, is it doesn't sort of lose its teeth. Like a lot of games, you know, if you know the trick to, let's say, destroying a boss enemy, I always hated this kind of boss design. Like, the boss is undefeatable. If it cannot be damaged, nothing can hurt them, unless you do one particular trick, which takes very little skill, and basically designing bosses as a puzzle, right? If you know like the key to the puzzle, you will instantly defeat them with very little effort, and if you don't, then they are undefeatable. Like, I always hated that. I wanted to get in there and mix it up and like rip up the boss with my, with my moves and my power that I've been working on building the whole game, and not have to depend on some sort of like lame puzzle solving to just. I wanted to destroy them with my skills. So, okay, I'm getting close to the top here. Focus. Keep it together. Don't freaking. Oh, there's the laser, but I'm gonna pass it up. Do not freaking lose it now. Oh god, okay. Not too bad. So, kill rate 4%, that's like kind of typical of levels like that. It was just one of the sort of unique designs. It's a little bit change of pace, like a little different from some other levels, and it's one I like, but man, is that a hard level. So let's see. I guess maybe I'll try this one next. I had planned to go here. This is like a long marathon stage, and this is like a shorter, kind of more compressed action stage. Again, it's a treasure hunt, so here we are in a looping area, shooting blocks. We have super weapons now, so I've got like upgraded firepower, which is highly appreciated in this level. And this is actually one of my favorite level designs. It's, I think, a great example of a level that is small, compact. Like this is one of the very smallest level layouts in the game. Totally compact, bristling with death and enemies everywhere, and just super challenging. Kind of short, tight, hard level that I can just really play again and again, and it just feels so like intense when I play this. So to me, this is a better design and probably much more successful than other levels that are, very large, sprawling, like mazes with tons of spaces to float around and explore, and like objectives are way spread out, and there's a ton of like, free moving exploration. Like those are cool too. They're a little more slower paced. Like they have memory. Like you need to remember where to go, and they have different like types of challenges in them. Oh, so harsh. But anyway, this one, like this type of like super quick reflex arcade style gameplay, I think is the strength of Disastr Blastr, and this has got to be one of my maybe top 5 or 10 favorite levels out of all the levels in the game. I just really like this one. I think this was. Oh, did you see what happened there? I bumped the wall, and it slowed me down just enough that like I couldn't slip by. Oh, so freaking enraging. So I've made this observation before, and I think it bears repeating, is a lot of times when you put a ton of effort into something, like say I spend a week designing a level, that's an incredibly long time for me. And that level that I spent a week designing is probably, in all likelihood, is going to get thrown away and will not work as a level because it's just too complicated and unwieldy and just not. It just doesn't, you know, have that sort of intuitive flow that you get when you design a great level that you did in like a half hour or 20 minutes. And this is that type of level. Oh, wow. Okay, maybe time to focus and stop talking so much here, but I think you guys get my point, and this is something like a comment I made to Joey, who's the musician of Disastr Blastr. Like, he's talking about composing songs, and I composed the title song for the game, and I thought, you know, this is one of the coolest little chiptunes I've ever kind of come up with, and it took almost no time. It was like 2 hours to record the entire song, and I was talking to him about it, and I made a comment to the effect of, I've spent a lot more time on other things that turned out a lot crappier. And like the same principle holds true for like the level design. And, oh, did you see that? He sort of ping-ponged off two of the little breakable blocks here. He went bounce, bounce, and then he got me. So, okay. As much as I enjoy, you know, elaborating on my thoughts and sort of exploring the design intricacies of the game, I'm really gonna have to focus on what I'm doing here and try to get through this. Okay, there's one. Get that. Okay, focus. Break everything. There's one. Two more left. Keep it together. Okay, the corners are the hardest places to get into. Oh, man! You'll see like one block by itself up in the corner here. This is like the hardest one to access. It's on screen for like the least time. And if you ever have, oh wow, that was rough. If you ever have like a treasure get placed up here in the corner, it's usually like the last one. Yeah, that would be like the last one I would find normally. I just happen to be focusing on it right now, so I intentionally targeted that area. Luck is a little bit of a factor with where the things are placed. I mean, there are 5 of them, or 6 of them, or however many. I think maybe there are 5. So theoretically, like if you can break 5 blocks, you can win the level. Like the treasure might be in the first 5 blocks. It's unlikely, but that's definitely possible. So in that sense, it's a little bit of luck with, you know, say that I can break 60% of the blocks in the level. Well, I have there's a certain probability based on breaking 60% of them that I'm going to find those 5 things. If I can break 70% of the blocks, then my chances of completing the level go up. And if I can ever break 100%, obviously I would find them all. But just with the difficulty of the movement and action and the timer being so tight, breaking all of them is extremely difficult. And that's by design. Okay, this is a little bit hairy. Get through it. Shit. Can't always destroy them on the first pass. Sometimes you've got to damage a block and then come back on the second pass and destroy it. I think in this level you've got at least 2, maybe 3 passes through the corridor to try to break as many as you can. These looping type levels where you go around and around the path were I felt these were some of the more successful level types and used them quite a bit. I haven't had too much feedback on how players feel about it other than they're freaking hard, which yeah, that's kind of to be expected. Like I said, personally I find the smaller, more intense levels to be more agreeable. The larger exploration ones, I get to that and I'm like, oh man, this one, like I really have to like go through all this. Now, there are levels that I dread. Like I see that level and I'm thinking about playing it and I'm just like, oh man, not that, anything but that. When you're the designer of the game and that's how you feel, it's maybe a hint that your difficulty level has grown a little bit more than it needs to, but oh, come on! imagining all the players out there laughing at me right now, because I can't do this. It's okay, you guys can laugh. Oh god, why? So every world that I advance through, like this is the 4th world, like the videos are going to get longer and longer, like keep dying. I would like to do it without any editing. Like I would like to actually show you guys the deaths and like the repeat play that it takes to kind of get through these, but like I can see how it could get a little monotonous, like just watching me die over and over. So I'm gonna try to, I will die a respectable number of times, but I'll try not to bore you too much. If it does, I may have to resort to editing to. Oh my god, why? Oh, okay, here we go. Trying to resist the temptation to shoot the enemies and focus on my firepower on the blocks in here. It's like what I really need to do is clear these blocks out. It's hard though, like you wanna, like for safety as well as like challenge my points, I wanna shoot the enemies just to, especially these guys, just to get them out of there. But you know, if I can focus my firepower on the blocks, every time I break one of these, my chances of success go up. So stay focused. Hit the blocks. Die. Oh, there was one. There was one. Okay, I'm gonna have to come back for those two. There's like one more out there somewhere that I really need to. I saw two. Okay, so as long as I don't time out, I'll have a chance to pick those up. But I've got to find the last one. It'll be here somewhere. There it is. There it is. Okay. Keep it together. Do not fucking die. Absolutely not. Absolutely no way now. Okay. It gets a little intense, guys.